And here comes Milo, big run out of 4. He's going to be there.
Tristan Martin's there. Cannot count out the 37.
Oh!
Burned!
Cabot, where did he come from?
Here
comes Zwack.
A punch from the 33.
It's a drag race.
The Magic Man wins an Auto Club.
I played a couple of simulators and this was like very responsive, especially the hydraulics and stuff, the motion and stuff was really, really on point.
Make you feel like you're really driving, it feels real.
It adds so much to the experience. It's just really, really cool.
It was pretty awesome.
Welcome everybody. CrimsonCardz Battle for Bristol. 150 laps here tonight, 150 miles. Race 13 out of 14. I'm your host, Bradley Cooper, live on VSPEED here tonight for flag-to-flag coverage of the second to last race in the chase. And we bring up that chase picture. You can get a good look here. I always bring up the Orange Speed. We've got to thank those folks as well. Be your best at orangespeed.net. But let's bring up the right graphic here. Here's your top 8, and it's been really tight. Ross Phillips been going back and forth with Sean Langton, Sean Bounty, all having great finishes here. And as of late, Morgan Cook, Garrett Helmlinger, Justin Ritchie starting to fade out of the picture entirely. But it's going to be a tight battle. Ross Phillips able to edge out Sean Langton a little bit in the points here lately. We'll see what's coming up next. We go down trackside. Getting ready to grid. 10 seconds to go. If you're not familiar with Bristol Motor Speedway, it's a high-banked, high-speed, 1-mile oval. All concrete surface. And it's been named the last great Colosseum. And I would agree with that. Been here in person. It's a football stadium with cars in it. So we go down there to show you your pole sitter. Ross Phillips able to put it up there with a 14.632. That is 0.02 of a second faster than the outside of the pole, with Sean Bounty in second position. Moving on to the next row, we've got Morgan Cook and Sean Langton third and fourth. Nicholas Pressey fifth, with Randy Swale in sixth position. Todd Cleveland and Dakota Floyd will be row number 4. And rounding out your top 10 will be Kyle Stewart with Justin Ritchie. Garrett Helmlinger and Brian Watkins 11th and 12th. 13th position will belong to Jacob Daniels with Joseph Selig. And then rounding out your field here tonight will be Thad Miller in the number 13. So Ross Phillips being labeled as the 5 car. He will be in the 5 car, but a throwback paint scheme with the 46 machine. Days of Thunder throwback, the City Chevrolet. Right behind him, Morgan Cook looking hungry. Been wanting to win for quite some time. We know Bristol's a different mindset for how you get around a racetrack. You got to be really patient with the guys in front of you. But the pace car goes around one more time here. Right on board the nose here of the 51 of Morgan Cook, just to show you how tight and steep the banks are here at Bristol tonight. Or Cal Fire, see you up there in the chat. Welcome into the broadcast. I'm excited to see some short track racing. Bristol always puts on a good show, regardless of what car or sport is on it. Don't like the dirt, though. Much prefer the asphalt surface here at Bristol. All right, here we go. Pace car getting ready to pull down, make that left-hand turn after this next corner. Lights are still on the pace car. They turn it back on here. So we're taking an extra pace lap. Something not sorted here with the starting grid. With a new damage model on these trucks, it's going to be tough. Get caught up there in that outside wall. It's so famous for exit speed. Sucking you up there on the exit to turn 4, just before the finish line. With this new damage model, the truck could definitely get the toe knocked out very easily and lose control. But Ross Phillips knows that. He put it up there on the pole. Let's see what kind of start he gets. Green flag is out. And we're underway at Bristol. And leading lap number 1, it's going to be Ross Phillips, who gets out to a great start. Garrett Helmlinger goes around on the turn 4. Let me go back and show you that quickly. He's going to come off of turn 4 completely sideways, loses it all on his own. He gets really loose going into the entrance. And everyone thankfully misses that. No caution. Actually, a yellow actually out on the track. Back to the live shot. Let's see if we can go find out what happened there. Humlinger out there on the track still, looking for the caution. Might have been the 41 of Kyle Stewart. We'll go back a little bit further. Got nothing here. Well, it goes yellow. We'll chalk it up to that. We were looking back at the 21 of Helmlinger, unless the caution came out for that incident, and I'm not entirely sure. But nonetheless, 4 laps in the books here already. Very quick around this racetrack. Let's see if we can bring somebody up into the booth here. We dial up to 51 of Morgan Cook. Morgan Cook, it's Bradley Cooper up in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Yes.
Now, Morgan, we just had an early caution. I'm not really sure entirely what happened out there, but this track looks really slick. We had Garrett Helmlinger lose it there in turn 3. Is it tough to get into these corners right now?
I don't know. This is my first time here. I'm just trying to hang on. And Garrett was the caution for sliding sideways. iRacing triggered it early. But I'm just trying not to hit anything. I see Pressie's right behind me, and I got to win tonight, or else my season is over. So that's that.
Must win situation for Morgan Cook here tonight. But Bristol's the track to do it. You're up there in 3rd. Good luck. Go get him.
Thank you.
So there he is, 51 Morgan Cook, and like he said, must win situation. He knows what he needs to do. He's got his work cut out for him. Ross Phillips has been pretty dominant. Sean Bounty also really good this season. And he's got 2 of the best in front of him. He's got to go chase down. Just behind him, though, the 8, Sean Langton. Also kind of one of those situations where points are very important. You can't have a bad night. And all these guys know this. But the pace car pulls off. We're going to go back racing for the 2nd time here tonight. And Ross Phillips yet again back to the lead. Really high line there in the 1 and 2. Sean Bounty has a pass going for second position. Nicholas Pressey trying to get around him. Morgan Cook loses a spot on that restart. But he's sitting back and fourth, right on the heels of the 34. And then Sean Langton trying to make up some ground as well. The high line seems to be the preferred way around this place right now. Pressey not able to edge out Bounty as they go into 3 and 4. Just not able to get around him. And Ross Phillips is loving what he's seen in his mirror. But even though they're side by side, still hanging with him. And Pressey now taking a shot. Maybe at the lead. Gets a little loose off of 2. But he's holding it down there pretty well. Gets a glimpse there to the inside. Phillips able to hold on to it. It's been back and forth with Bounty and Pressey now for about 7 laps. And we know that Pressey's burning up those tires. You can see it starting to give up. He's going to lose a position. Now Morgan Cook working the outside in the 51. Not doing too bad. Now we got to pass for the lead, though. For never being around this place before. Morgan Cook doing an excellent job. There was a brief moment there where Sean Bounty got to the inside of Ross Phillips, and Phillips held him off on the outside line. Able to lead another lap, and that will tally it up to 14. Actually 15 as they go around. Phillips has been dominant all season long. He's had a few races that got away from him, but the guy to beat out here tonight will definitely be the 5 truck. There's a guy that had one get away as well, the 44, Todd Cleveland. Oh, so close to getting his first win and breaking the ice this season. Comes up with a podium, though. 44 did a heck of a job putting himself in a position to possibly win that race last week. Let's see if he can turn it around here. He's back in the 7th position, losing a little bit of ground, 2 seconds back. He has the 00 Swale in front of him. Almost side by side here. Looking back at the 24, Dakota Floyd. Red Bull paint scheme on that machine. He's been stagnant so far. Started 8th, he stayed in 8th, but you can see this top 5 is pulled away from the rest of the field. John Langton, 1.2 seconds ahead of Saleh. Ross Phillips starting to open up his gap a little bit. He's pulled Bounty by 2, almost 3/10. Watch this line as he comes off at 4. Wall ride and like Darlington here. Out around the Kyle Larson line, as they call it. Very deceitful, though. That safer barrier makes it very tough. Track opens up wide down the straightaways, then closes, pinches back off. You got to taper your corner, predicting that. Ross Phillips knows how to get around this place, and that's becoming more and more obvious. The 51 of Morgan Cook in a must-win situation. He's starting to creep up on the 34 of Bounty. Nicholas Pressey has not left their sight as well, and Langton able to hold true. Todd Cleveland gets around a couple cars. We were actually talking about the 00. He's coming down pit road. So he's going to be 2 laps down right now. 27 laps on this stint. He comes down pit road. So it's a little early pit stop for the 00, but he's down and away clean. Back out onto the track. There's Brian Watkins to round out your top 10. He's picked up a couple spots since the start of this thing. 17 of Watkins looking really sharp out there tonight. Possible top 10 if he can hold it together. Kyle Stewart trying to take that away from him. And then Garrett Helmlinger, the guy that spun out at the start of this event. He's since got it settled down, but it looks very tight. And Bristol just not favoring this driver here. As we are 29 laps into this event. Ross Phillips has led every single one of them. And he's coming up on lap traffic. The 00 with a little bit fresher tires. He's still gaining on him. Oh, that 00 is looking loose. Back here to Sean Bounty. He's going to have to go to the inside of the 00. Just trying to navigate this traffic. Phillips did it the best on the outside. He had his line, but Bounty met him in the straightaway. He just wasn't able to pass him where he wanted to run, and now the 00 hits the outside wall. Right in front of your top 5 here. Ressi trying to go around to the inside. These guys kind of scattering around, trying to sort out how they're going to pass him. Ressi able to clear him now. And now it's Langton's turn to go around. The first through 5th. Almost clears him there. Now able to get around the 00, being very polite and courteous to this top 5. Dakota Floyd gets back around Todd Cleveland, now making her gun. He's running up there. Making a big run for the top 5. He's got it narrowed down to under a second. He's right on board with the 24. The gyro helmet camera. '24 car starting to come to life in the second half of this run. He's catching up to Langton. A lot of lap traffic in front of these guys, though. I believe that's the 12 of Selig. There's something going on with that paint scheme. I want to say that that paint belongs on a different model truck. Not entirely sure. Jacob Daniels in the 8th position, coming off of turn 4 now. He's got a challenger, Kyle Stewart. For a brief second there, Stewart was on the bottom. They have knocked Brian Watkins out of the top 10. And Stewart trying to take the 72 back to 9th. Based off of how the 44 is running right now, the 41 of Stewart might pick off 2 positions here soon. Close racing right there as Stewart slides up in front of the 72, right up behind the 44. Didn't want to lose his run. A little bit of left rear damage on that machine, but still able to put it up in the 7th position. So, clean and green since the second start of this race. 44 laps into this event. And Ross Phillips taking a commanding lead over Sean Bounty of 1.8 seconds. Coming up on 2 seconds as they cross the line for lap 45. Morgan Cook. He's right on Sean Bounty's rear bumper. We might see a pass for second here momentarily. Might use the 13 of Thad Miller as a pick. Oh boy. Looking kind of tight there on the exit of 2. Miller's going to try to move down out of the way And that sets up Morgan Cook. He gets right up on the bumper again of the 34. These guys see the 5 pulling away, leaving the field. They know they've got to get going. And Morgan Cook trying to turn up the heat. Can he get around the 34 before the pit stops? Side by side as they come off of turn 2. Cook still at the door, but just not able to pin that bottom and get the run off the corner that he needs. Bounty's going to hold on for another lap. Now a dive. And join in the picture, the 24 Floyd. He works his way up into the top 5. Oh, and the 51 bangs the wall. Overshoots the corner a little bit, and Floyd moves up to 3rd. Side by side into 1 and 2. Floyd goes up to 2nd. Side by side just behind him. Morgan Cook still trying to work his way around Bounty, and he pinches Pressey up into the wall. These guys are racing tight. Working lap 53 and the tires start to fall off. Concrete abrasive surface. Nicholas Pressey might not have appreciated that. He gets right up on the bumper of the 51 for a brief second there. Oh, there's the contact we were looking for. The 51 goes around. No, yes, a yellow comes out on lap 55. And Morgan Cook hits the outside wall, slides up in front of the 94 of Nicholas Pressey. We'll go back and take a look at another angle. See if we can get a better look at this. The 51 gets the run down to the inside to Sean Bounty, but he's just not able to clear. And then Pressey gets up on the outside just as they exit the corner. Out of 2. Go back and look one more time from another angle. Right on board with Nicholas Pressey. You can see the 51 Cook is not clear. But he pulled it off earlier. He tried to do it again, ran out of room to do so, and that will bring out caution number 2 of the night. Here we come, down pit road. Ross Phillips hits his stall. Everyone should be pitting on the front stretch here tonight. And how about that long run speed that the 24 of Dakota Floyd was showing? Let's see if he can win a race off of pit road. 0-0 looks like he's gonna have to fall back, but yeah, Dakota Floyd up to 2nd, able to get around Sean Bounty. Bounty's starting to struggle there at the end of that run, and Ross Phillips just clocked out almost 3 seconds, 4 seconds ahead of this pack. Could be a different story here with Floyd now. He was very good on saving tires. Let's see if he can do it again. In fact, we're going to dial him up and see what's going on. Go to Floyd. It's Bradley Cooper up in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
What's up, Bradley?
Dakota looking really strong there in the second half of that run. You were able to get around Sean Bounty. Do you think that now with the traffic out of your way, it'll be a little bit easier to save your tires and hang with the leader?
I don't know, honestly. This is my first time racing here in a while. I know Ross is pretty quick, so I'm just going to try to hang behind him for a little bit. If I find an avenue to get around him, I'll get around him and just try to run my race and hopefully pull away with this one.
Yeah, we've watched Ross kind of dominate this right now, but he hasn't had you behind him yet. So I know Bristol, it's a different animal altogether. It's one of the few tracks this season that you guys are right on top of each other the whole time, but good luck out there. We'll see what you got for the next 100 laps.
All right, Coop, I appreciate you.
24 Dakota Floyd running in the second position. 16-1 Motorsports. Putting it on out there. All right, Ross Phillips. He's got the go-ahead to launch this baby into turn 1. Lights are out on the pace car. Gonna make that left-hand turn. Let's ride on board and crank up the volume here. Green flag is out. And a big wreck on the front straightaway. Sean Langton's involved. Morgan Cook. Maybe Thad Miller. They get going green and everything sounded and looked okay. Oh, the 51 bobbles there in 3 and 4. Gets some contact by Langton. Langton nowhere to go. Gets into the 72 of Daniels. We're right on board with, I believe, the 21 of Helmlinger, who watched all of that happen in front of him. Oh, man. 17 almost able to get through it. Brian Watkins hits a couple cars as he goes through that mess, but another angle here. And it just happens like that. So fast here at Bristol. Let's ride on board with the 51 of Morgan Cook and see what he saw. There's that contact from the 17 to kind of wipe it off the track. Clogs up here between these two walls. Caution number 3 of the night. So 3 cautions, 0 lead changes. Ross Phillips has led every single lap here tonight. 63 laps. 64 coming up in the books. And with 3 cautions here and 69-degree track temp, you think it'd be a little bit tighter, but it hasn't been. These guys are slip sliding around. Morgan Cook gets a little loose. Sean Langton gets into the back of him. And Domino's, 7 cars involved in that last accident. All the way back to 14th position, Joseph Selig, who got a piece of it. So no pit stops this time around. These guys are keeping it quiet out here on pit road. Dakota Floyd loses a position on the restart. Sean Bounty able to get around him. Hopefully Dakota said he was going to try to run away with this. Maybe saving the tires for the long run. We'll see. All right, doubled back up. Ross Phillips getting ready to take him back green. Green flag in the air, and we're starting back live at Bristol for the 4th time tonight. Big move there by Justin Ritchie as they come off of turn 4. Back there to the 55. And Richie looks really loose. He loses it in 2. Yellow flag in the air again for the night. These trucks have looked super loose. Pace car has to avoid them. Well, let's go back and take a look. We saw it pretty instant as it was happening, but here goes Richie into 3 and 4, and he just sinks that bottom, snaps it loose. Thankfully doesn't hit anyone or he brushes the wall on the outside. Could have been a lot worse here. Let's go on board with him and see what that steering wheel looked like. And it just snaps around. Very little warning. So, caution number 4, just like that. And Richie gonna lose a lap there after spinning out, not able to clear the pace car and get back around and back up to speed. He's gonna bring it down pit road and get 4 fresh tires. But pretty minimal damage there for the 55. It could have been a lot worse, and he's actually letting the field go around. Thought he was gonna bring it down pit road. The 5 machine of Ross Phillips still in the lead. He never even got the heat in the engine that time. Get this horsepower up to speed, get these engines revved out. We know Phillips is fast. But we know what else is fast. VRX simulators. Presenting the broadcast. Southeast Tutoring. CrimsonCardz. All the different sponsors. Orange Speed all the way back. And green flag back underway at Bristol. Ross Phillips gets an excellent start. Sean Bounty pulls up with him. Dakota Floyd. And now up into the top 5, the 44 of Todd Cleveland on the bumper of Nicholas Pressey. The 41 of Stewart to the inside now. In contact with Langton. They're wrecking down the front stretch almost again. And the 51 of Cook gets to the inside. They bunch up big time off of 3. And Stewart falling back very quickly. Out of the top 10 almost. Had a shot at the top 5 for a brief second there. Meanwhile, Dakota Floyd under fire from Nicholas Pressey. Almost side by side there as they went into 2. Come off the turn 4. Pressey's starting to move his lane up a little bit. That's helped him stay with these leaders a little bit better. Remember, he was running the bottom trying to get around Sean Bounty at the start of this, and it wore those tires out quickly. But it's settled down pretty fast. Ross Phillips, Sean Bounty. Bounty not letting him run away as much this time. Off of turn 2. 0.2 of a second. It's starting to be the same. 0.3 now as they come off of 4. Bounty just not able to get the run that Ross Phillips is getting off of these exits. Going back to Morgan Cook, who darted through that chaos with Kyle Stewart and Sean Langton. Moved himself back up, excuse me, up into the 6th position. Langton since settled down and recovered in 8th or 7th. Garrett Helmlinger back up to the 8th spot. Remember, Helmlinger brings out the first caution of the night. Jacob Daniels, who was involved in a couple incidents here Also got a little piece of the action with Langton and Stewart. The 71 still holding on, or 72, still holding on to the top 10 here. Twelve cars still on the lead lap. Last one on the lead lap would be Brian Watkins in the 12th position, trying to get around the 00 of Randy Swale, who's actually 14th, 4 laps down to the leader. Thad Miller in the 11th position. Kyle Stewart back in 10th. He's behind the 55 of Justin Ritchie, who had problems just a moment ago. Bounty falls out 0.8 of a second. Dakota Floyd, this is about the time that he started to turn up the heat. We'll look to see if he starts to pull away from Pressy here momentarily. And if he can make up any ground on that 34. Able to clear him quickly last time. We watched as the 51 struggled to get around the 34. It took about 10 laps, but Morgan Cook ends up getting into the 94 and sets his race back a little bit. He's starting to recover, though. You can see him chasing down this pack in front of him. As they come off of turn 4, it's Phillips, Bounty, Floyd, Pressy, and Cleveland, and now side by side for third with Pressy on the bottom. Quick little glimpse there to the inside for the 94. Couldn't hold it down there. Falls back in line, loses a ton of ground there. And really close up on the bumper of Todd Cleveland, we have Morgan Cook trying to go to the outside now. Probably going to get this run off. And out of 4, he takes it away. Top 5 back for Morgan Cook. Pressy just brushes the wall there in 1 and 2. And he's losing even more ground to Dakota Floyd. And Floyd trying to chase down the 34 of Bounty. Picks up a couple tenths there. Looks like this lap's going to be a little bit faster for the 24. Well, they're about even there. And the 24 brushes the wall. Nicholas Pressy gets around him. Now Morgan Cook looking for 5th position. Oh, in contact with the 51. 51 slides, tries to gain control, gets it back under him. But he's going to lose a ton of spots, and the 51 back to 8th position. 9th is... No, Garrett Helmlinger will be the next truck. Let's take a look back at the 51. There's the 24 brush in the wall. And the 51 goes to the inside. But they're side by side as they exit turn 4. And just a little bit of contact there. The 51 sliding up. 24 holds his ground. And that'll do it there probably for the 51 unless we get another caution to reset his race. He stabilized in the 8th position, but he lost 8 seconds back to the rest of the field. Sean Langton and Kyle Stewart are 1.2 seconds ahead. So Floyd hits the wall. Knocks some momentum out of that run. Might have been pushing it a little bit too hard on this second stint. $99 out of 150 laps complete. And Ross Phillips has led all 100 of them as he crosses the line here. All right, so hope you guys are enjoying tonight's broadcast of the CrimsonCardz Battle for Bristol. 150 miles, and we've got 101 of them done. Race 13. We'll be right back after this.
couple of simulators, and this was like very responsive. Especially the hydraulics and stuff, the motion and stuff was really, really on point.
Make you feel like you're really driving. It feels real.
It adds so much to the experience. It's just really, really cool.
It was pretty awesome.
Back live at Bristol Motor Speedway. 106 laps completed. And Ross Phillips, he's led them all. He's been dominating, putting on a clinic here tonight. Fun to watch. The five have such a dominant performance, especially when it comes chase time. Off of turn 2, looking good. Sean Bounty back here, 3.1 seconds behind. Dakota Floyd starting to gain back a little bit of that ground he'd lost to the 34. Floyd now starting to make a move towards the top 2, as he was before. This lap's starting to dwindle down. Possibly some green flag pit stops. And Floyd down to the bottom here to the 34 of Bounty. Can he clear him into 1? Makes quick work of the 34. And just like that, Dakota Floyd up to second position. He's got to make up 3 seconds on Ross Phillips. You can watch that ticker on the left-hand side showing you the interval. As it dwindles down to 2.9, it's pretty stagnant, but he is gaining ground over the 34 of Bounty. Only drawback here for Floyd is he's not got the short run speed. Phillips runs out so far ahead of him. It's just going to be tough for the 24. You can see Phillips coming off the corner now, and that's all the way back to the 24 of Dakota Floyd, who's just now going into 1. 2.6 seconds. Floyd is catching him. Will it be fast enough, though? Sean Bounty falls back to 3rd. Nicholas Pressey starting to push up on him with 0.5 of a gap. Kyle Stewart in the 5th position. Todd Cleveland just behind him. Langton, one of our points contenders, finds himself in the 7th position, having a little bit of an off night. And Ross Phillips looking to capitalize and maybe put the 8 a lap down here momentarily. So Floyd was catching him, but now finds himself in some lap traffic, trying to get around the 13 of Thad Miller. And he's got the 51 of Morgan Cook there on the inside. Cook looking like he has maybe some fresh tires there. And Floyd loses the ground he makes up, trying to navigate this traffic. Phillips loves to see that. Now he's getting ready to pass the 8 of Langton. Will Langton move out of the way, or will he try to put up a fight here to stay on the lead lap? Langton going to drop all the way down in 3 and 4 and let the 5 go. Veteran move there by the 8. Doesn't find himself going a lap down too often, so it's good to see the 8 letting the 5 of Phillips go. Morgan Cook working his way back up here. He came down, got some fresh tires. If you want to Cook being scored a lap down, but he's going to get it back the old-fashioned way as they cross the line here. Get one of those laps back. Cook still being scored 3 laps down, but that's pretty common here at Bristol. It takes about that amount of time to get down pit road. Floyd has him down to 2.4 seconds now. 2.3 as they come off of turn 2. Bounty has lost 2.9 seconds to the 24, who's really turned up the heat here. Talk about our long run car. Phillips has got to know that that car's catching him. He'll probably wait as long as he can to come down pit road if he has to. I don't think these guys can make it all the way to the end. I could be wrong on that. Down under 2 seconds now. 24 Floyd making a go at it. See him navigating the lap traffic here for the 5 of Phillips, trying to get around the 00, who courteously moves down. Floyd back there in the hunt of a couple lap cars. He's going to work around Langton, now drops to the bottom of Richie, coming off of 4. Richie into the wall. That does allow Floyd to get a decent clear. Oh, we got contact at 55 of Richie. Langton involved. No yellow, and they're going to stay green as they come off of 2. Richie loses a ton of time, though. Dakota Floyd does not want a yellow. He wants to chase down this 5. And he's doing so. With 20 laps to go. It's just every lap car that Floyd encounters, he encounters it at the wrong time. The timing is just a little off here. Floyd's not able to get clear of these lap cars, and that is really bailing out the 5 of Phillips because Floyd has the speed to catch him. He's dwindled it down to 1.5 seconds. But every time he gets into a lap car, you watch that go back up a tenth. Off of turn 4, it's 1.6 seconds across the line. Dakota Floyd comes into turns 1 and 2. Kyle Stewart works his way up to the 3rd position. He's on the move now with this late run. And we've only got 5 cars left on the lead lap. Nicholas Pressey in the 5th spot. .3 seconds now. .15 laps to go. Almost identical lap times there between Floyd and Phillips the last time through, but this time looking like Dakota's gonna get a 10th on him. .2 seconds. Laps dwindling down. 13 to go. Can Dakota Floyd catch him? He's showing the speed in about a 10th a lap. He has the time to do it. He'll get to the rear bumper at this pace before the white flag. Floyd just has to be perfect and run his line. You can lead every single lap in this race, but if you don't lead the last one, it doesn't matter. Phillips knows that, trying to maintain that gap, starts to get the cushion to stop shrinking a little bit. But last time by, about half a tenth a second. 0.05 picked up. Floyd Really working that wheel. He's got him in sight, and he knows it. Half a second now as they come off of turn 2. Lots of lap traffic here. Nicholas Pressey gonna go a lap down here. This is gonna open up an opportunity for Floyd. 6 laps to go. Running out of time here for the 24. The 5 in the lead. Gets around Nicholas Pressey cleanly. Down to the bottom in 1 and 2. Clean off the exit. Pressey holding the outside. Will not let the 24 go. 5 laps left. So much lap traffic here in front of these leaders. Floyd loses a 10th as they come off at 4. Ross Phillips now taking 4 to go. The lead starts to grow back to 7 tenths. The lap traffic, a big contender here tonight. And Phillips just has to get around here 3 more times. Could have Floyd make up 5 tenths? He's got half a second in front of him from his first win of the season. Kyle Stewart in 3rd. 10 seconds back. 2 to go now as they cross the line. Phillips turns the heat back up and starts to maintain that gap. White flag up in the air as they cross now what will be the last lap of tonight's event. CrimsonCardz 150 VSRL Truck Series Southeast Tutoring. Winner of tonight, Ross Phillips, gets it done by 4 tenths of a second over Dakota Floyd. Kyle Stewart comes in 3rd. Sean Bounty, Nicholas Pressey, your top 5. But what a finish. It came down to the wire, and all that lap traffic just not able to navigate it for the 24. And we're going to go burn it down here with Ross Phillips. And another win here in VSRL. Interviews with your top 3. We're going to take a quick commercial break, catch up with the guys on pit road, and meet Ross Phillips in victory lane. SET VSRL Truck Series back right after this.
I played a couple of simulators and this was like very responsive, especially the hydraulics and stuff, the motion and stuff was really, really on point.
Make you feel like you're really driving, it feels real.
It adds so much to the experience. It's just really, really cool.
It was pretty awesome.
And here comes Milo. Big run out of 4. He's going to be there.
Tristan Martin's there. Cannot count out the 37.
Oh!
Around it, burn!
Cabot, where did he come from?
Here
comes Zwack.
Pulling from the 33.
It's a drag race.
The Magic Man wins it Auto Club.
This race had it all here tonight. You see the 21 of Garrett Helmlinger bringing out caution number 1 of the night. Getting loose there off at turn 3. Then you've got the incident here with Langton taking out 7-8 different cars. Justin Ritchie getting loose. Slides up and gets in, almost gets in contact with the 8, the 00. Then you've got this battle here, where I believe the 41 gets in. Yeah, he gets into the corner a little hot, gets into Langton. The 72 checks up. These guys get all over the place down the front straightaway. And you can go back here with the contact of Floyd and Morgan Cook, who needed to win here tonight. Just had tough breaks all race long. But ultimately, it came down to this guy right here as we burn it down with him. And we catch up with your top 3. Kyle Stewart, 3rd place finisher here tonight. Man, I tell you what, it was tough out there. The whole night with all the lap traffic, the cautions, just the way this track seemed to be handling it, it seemed like it was a handful all night.
Yeah, I mean, the car was good. I was fast. Just had some stuff going on in front of me and around me where I'd work my way up to, 5th, 6th, get into a restart, have people check up, and I'd fall back to 9th and just work my way back through the field, and then something else would happen again. But all in all, I thought I was fast. Was really trying to get after Pressy there for the final playoff spot, and I think he just edged me, so I just give it my best.
Well, we saw the 9th place start and all the incidents that happened in front of you, beside you. There was a big wreck there on the front straightaway that took out 7-8 different cars, and you were just able to sneak through that. Do you think that kind of changed things once those guys settled down?
Yeah, I think everybody was trying to be settled down all together, but I think running side by side here, giving people enough room, it takes a little bit. And I think once people finally settled into it and realized that we're just going to run over people, I think everybody calmed down a little bit.
Well, nonetheless, Kyle Stewart, you pick up 6 positions here tonight to finish on the podium. Do you have anyone you'd like to shout out and thank for tonight's performance?
Yeah, because I'll probably take a back seat next week. I'll just go ahead and thank VSRL for putting this on, you guys at VSPEED for broadcasting this season. Definitely got to shout out that Southeast Tutoring, right? If you need some tutoring services, hook up with Morgan Cook. Have to thank the Orange Speed guys that made me much better through, a quarter of last season and this season, and they just been really good guys to help me out. So I'd like to thank all those people, and it's been fun running with the guys all year so far.
We appreciate your time, Kyle Stewart, and we look forward to next week to wrap this season up. Good luck and have fun. If you take a back seat, I don't know if you meant you were going to sit on the stands and in the box or what that meant.
No, I'll get out there and mix it up with some people, but I don't want to mess up the championship floor there. So I'll give people some room, and if I finish in 5th place, we'll be good with that.
All right, Kyle, good luck and take care, buddy.
Thank you. You too.
There's your 3rd place finisher, Kyle Stewart, getting it done here tonight with one of the first podiums I think he had this season. He might have had a podium in the 2nd race. I can't remember exactly. It's all blurred together at this point. It's been a long season, 13 races in. And our 2nd place finisher, who was catching him, It's just the lap traffic, Dakota. It got in your way. I could tell that it was getting frustrating out there, but nonetheless, you come home second here at Bristol.
Yeah, honestly, lap traffic wasn't really that big of an issue. I think just generally trying to get around somebody on old tires here is a nightmare. I had killed about 7-second gap on him. I'd run him down, and I just didn't have enough laps to finish it off. But it felt good to run that fast.
Yeah, when you passed the 34 of Langton, it was 3.4 seconds. You had dwindled it down to under a second with 10 to go, and then it just got really stagnant. All the lap traffic in front of you. It seemed like every time you met up with a lap car, you would lose a tenth or two.
Yeah, it definitely killed my run. But if I had all the track in front of me, I could run my line, and it was really good on the tires. You know, I could get a really good clean run off the exit, and I was just slowly but surely reeling him in. But nonetheless, he had enough of a gap, and he finished the race off in front of me, and it was an awesome finish.
An impressive run. I didn't see anyone else really with that kind of long run speed. I think the 41 of Stewart was about the only other guy that was on the same page there. But Ross Phillips, like you said, just hit that shot, got out to a massive lead. Do you think if the race would have went green long enough for green flag pit stops that you might have been able to edge him out?
I absolutely think so. I think the line I had figured out, it was really good on the tires. I was saving way more tire than everybody else, and I think that's what allowed me to get around most of the pack pretty easily. So if we would have stayed green from that first green flag run, I was already running him down. I think I could have gotten in front of him on a good pit stop and did my best to stay out there.
Well, Dakota, we're coming up to the very end of this season. And I know you're thankful for everything. You got guys to shout out, but what are we looking forward to the most here at the last race at VSRL?
Just the clean finish. If I could pull another top 3, I actually don't know where we're going for the final race. Just a clean finish, honestly. It would have been really nice to have been in the playoffs. I've put together a couple of really good races in the playoffs here, and maybe next season, I'll put together a whole really good season, be in the playoffs, and hopefully go for that championship.
Well, we got Las Vegas here, June 12th, last week of the season. And I know that's a track that you favor in this cookie cutter D-shaped ovals. So I think you'll do fine, Dakota. Go ahead and shout them out for the second place tonight.
Well, I just want to thank you, Coop, VSPEED, awesome broadcast, Garrett for putting on this whole league. Everybody in the league running awesome. I mean, we only 4 cautions at Bristol. Shout out to everybody. I mean, that's honestly pretty good, I would say. Shout out to the teammates, 16-1 Motorsports. These guys are awesome, especially to I would call him my driving coach, John Sanu. He's really helped me with my tire wear, and I think it really helped show here tonight.
10-4 on that, and I'm familiar with that name, so I'd like to get John in here from time to time if we could. But nonetheless, Dakota Floyd finishing second here tonight. Congratulations.
All right, Coop, I appreciate it. You have a good night.
You too. So there he is, second place finisher, and now we catch up in victory lane, burning it down on the front stretch. It's the number 546, whatever, the 546, it's all the same. It wins. It's up front. It dominated this race. It led all 150 laps, and you had a very hungry Dakota Floyd chasing you down there, but you were just able to get through that lap traffic perfectly.
Yeah. I told the guys I turned everything off, man. I muted everything, turned off relative. I turned everything off, thinking I was just gonna go because Sean Boundy put on a pretty good fight there, first 10 laps or so, and then he faded. And the last I checked, I thought I was about 5 to 7 seconds out on everybody. And then next thing I know, I saw a truck getting bigger and bigger in my rear view, and I thought it was a lap truck, and then I turned the relative back on. Yep.
Time to go. Time to
Yeah,
go.
I tried to pick up the pace a little bit, and all it did was put me in the wall. I was like, man, I just need to hold on and get through this lap traffic the best I can.
Yeah,
that boy was coming.
It seemed like he had a long run truck there on that first stint before we had the caution, and that kind of broke his run up. But the 5 looked really good, especially on that short run where you just pull out 3-4 tenths, and then that gap just slowly grew as the run went on.
Yeah, that first run, I ran about 3/4 of what I did, about 75% of what I did that last run at the beginning. Like I said, again, Sean was just right there, and I knew if I let him get around me, it was just going to be a battle to the end with him. But it's hard to pass once you get on old tires and you get everybody running up top. It's really hard to run on the bottom. I guess Kyle figured it out, but It was
Yeah, we had
scary
a-
watching Dakota get bigger.
We had a few different guys that started on the bottom. They moved their lanes up watching you guys, and it helped them in the long run, but it just seemed like that bottom, if you could figure it out, it was a better line, especially to come in and save tires. And Floyd was coming off the exit a little bit lower than you were, but you had such a run there on that short that it was just not enough.
Yeah, I guess that's the only thing I'm thankful for. I ran the piss out of it. That last restart. So it was nutty, that's for sure. It was a lot of fun. I had a little bit of a struggle getting around a couple of laps trucks. I know, can't say anything bad about them because it's fully understandable. They're trying to stay on lead lap. Plus one of them, I think it was Press. He was trying to, he was having a pretty good battle with Thad Miller there. So, I didn't want to disrupt that too bad, but at the same time, I had to go.
Well, we're coming up on Las Vegas. You're locked into the Final Four. What do you have in store for us here to wrap up this season?
Hopefully, domination again. Hopefully winning. We'll put it that way. Last year, I thought, we went into the last race, thought I had a really good chance, and Morgan ended up outrunning all of us. So we're gonna try. I'm pretty good at Vegas also. So.
Well, we're looking forward to it. Ross Phillips, winner here tonight. CrimsonCardz 150. Congratulations. Go ahead and shout him out.
Yeah, big shout out to Orange Speed. Ryan Depew was in the house tonight for a nice little full team win tonight. All of Orange Speed, obviously, man. We put on a pretty good show week in and week out with the guys. We throw up a few practices, try to get everybody some practice. Shout out to everybody that come into this thing with the VSRL, biggest one, with Garrett running this thing. It's put together a pretty good league. Thank you for always bringing on a good broadcast for us. So.
We appreciate that. I appreciate your time, Ross. And you know what? Looking forward to maybe a dominant performance at Las Vegas when we take it out to the desert for one more go around in race 14.
Wish us luck, brother.
Good luck, Ross. And we'll see you next time, man.
All right, buddy.
Race winner here tonight, Ross Phillips. And I know that I had the camera broke there for a second, trying to get back to the lap because we got a final running order to go through. Take you through the field here. And it was a good finish. Nonetheless, came down to the wire. Didn't know who was going to finish it off, but 0.5 of a second, half a second there, Dakota Floyd just falls short from his 8th place start to 2nd with Kyle Stewart in 3rd. Ross Phillips, your winner here tonight. Sean Bounty in 4th position. Nicholas Pressey gets a top 5. He's the first car a lap down. Most of this field goes a lap down. Sean Langton, Todd Cleveland, Thad Miller, Brian Watkins, and Morgan Cook, your top 10. Jacob Daniels going to bring it home in the 11th position, 3 laps down. Garrett Helmlinger in 12th. Justin Ritchie, Randy Swale, and Joseph Selig rounding out your field. So I hope you enjoyed tonight's broadcast here on VSPEED, the VSRL Truck Series. Tomorrow night, BTDY Cup Series, also in their chase with points multipliers. They're going to be going... Oh, I just had it. There it is. Yep, I'm losing my mind. They're going to Old Atlanta, I believe. Yes. For chase race number 5, so they're in the second to last race of their season as well. Hope you can join us there at 8:35 Eastern Time. And then Saturday night, SNR, Saturday Night Racing League. A lot of familiar names from BTDY in there as well. Jeff Wright, your winner at Auto Club. They're in a West Coast swing as well with Las Vegas coming up, so it's going to be a lot of Las Vegas next week as we go into the weekend into Monday. For everybody at VSPEED, Adam Baker, Alec Martinez, and myself, Bradley Cooper, we thank you for your time. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you next time. Take care, everybody, and have a good night.
I played a couple of simulators, and this was like very responsive. Especially the hydraulics and stuff, the motion and stuff was really, really on point.
Make you feel like you're really driving. It feels real.
It adds so much to the experience. It's just really, really cool.
It was pretty awesome.
Oh, big wiggle. And here comes Milo. Big run out of 4. He's going to be there.
Tristan Martin's there. Cannot count out the 37.
Oh!
Burned!
Cabot, where did he come from?
Here
comes Thwack.
Pulling from the 33.
It's a drag race.
The